All right, you guys are awesome. Let me, I probably got a feedback there for you. I really appreciate the fact that you guys are able to flow with us. I have been testing this software for 2 weeks, and we have worked hard to make sure that it was going to go smoothly, and unfortunately it didn't quite go as smooth as we thought. So I'm hoping right now, or at least soon, because there is a slight delay on this live feed, that you guys can hear me. So I'm going to ask you to go ahead and confirm that in the chat. We are live. We're going to start our back office training early because of the technical issues. So once again, we'll get this worked out, and everybody can watch the Why EWS segment next week. I'll do it live. I think that's what we need to do for now until we work out the kinks. So can everybody hear me? Say yes in the chat. Let me know what's happening. I'll just give just a second, and we'll start this live feed here in just a moment. So tonight we're going to be talking about how to develop and manage a database. Many of you might be asking what that means. Bottom line in this business, in any business in life, your contacts are the most important aspect of everything that you will do in your business. So your database is the most important aspect of your business. I'm seeing everybody saying everything's good, so that was the issue, was our preloaded video, so thank you for your patience. If you don't have a database that's centralized and organized, you don't have anything. You don't have an ability to effectively educate your prospects, follow up with them, communicate with them appropriately, and also target them with appropriate message. Your goal ultimately is to target them with the right message at the right time. Many people come into the Kangen Water message without the knowledge of the business, and some people would be turned off by that at first. So it's important that if they are health conscious, that you communicate to them in a health conscious way. It's important that if they're business focused, maybe they're an MLMer or a home-based business person, or they own their own companies, financially minded person, you would then focus on that aspect when you communicate and follow up with them. So what we're doing here is we're going to show you tonight how to develop a database with utilizing the EWS Prospect Manager, so that you can begin to put your database all in one place and then split them up into groups so that you can target the message appropriately. So I'm just going to check in just 1 second with the chat and see how everybody's doing. Okay, seems like I'm okay. Maybe there's some other people having some technical issues. So I'm going to go ahead and continue with the training tonight. So through having your database in a centralized place, EWS, and organizing that database into interests, you're able to target the right message at the right time to each prospect. And what I'm about to show you this evening, you're going to be able to actually take that prospect and step them through the different stages of the sales and information process. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and share my screen, and we'll get started with the training tonight. So thank you for coming, and of course being patient through all this. Okay, so here we are at the Enagic web system back office. Many of you are familiar with that. Can everybody see that screen okay? Please check in with me when you get that message. It should be nice and clear and full size. You can change your resolution on the YouTube if you want to click the button on the right corner. There is a button there to go to 720p. If you've got fast internet and you want a clearer picture, you can do that. You can also click full screen and see the entire presentation to your full window tonight. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is talk about, I shared with you what the importance of a database and how important it is to have it one place and have it organized. So we all know we're all on the same page there. What I want to show you this evening is how you even get prospects. So we're going to start from that basic point. And just a side note, we have Rob and Chris here with us, our support guys in the background, as well as Daryl. Welcome from Costa Rica. It's good to have Daryl on board. They're going to help answer your questions in live chat this evening. So go ahead and ask those questions, and if it's a good question, we will go ahead and prepare those questions for the end, because we actually want to answer some live questions and do some live Q&A. So the good questions we'll save for the end, and then we'll answer any other questions live through chat. So thank you, team, for doing that for me. Okay, so in our back office, we log in, and everybody's familiar with this screen. This is your home screen in the back office. And the place that we're talking about this evening is the Manage Prospects area. Okay, so this area right here is a very important area. After you get your website set up and you've got your domains ready to go and you're rocking and rolling, it's this area that you'll need to focus on next, because you're going to begin to build a database with your websites. And how this works, folks, for those that are fairly new to the whole concept of creating a database and what we call opt-ins, I'm going to show you real quick examples of opt-ins, okay? We have E1 website here. This is one of our websites, and I won't go through it all because I've explained it a bunch of times, but it's just a one-page site and it's got opt-ins on it, okay? The whole point of the site is to pique interest and get them to opt in. So what happens is somebody comes to this site and they read the information like, wow, this sounds amazing. Maybe they click on a couple videos and they're like, wow, this Bob Gradelli guy, and this Pat Boone, like, he really knows what's going on. They're watching the video and they're very interested. And it says, get your ebook today. It's totally free. Well, that's great. A lot of people are attracted to that, and they will put their information in here. Their name, their email, their last name, and possibly their true phone number. Not a big deal if you don't get a true phone number, because it's still a prospect. As long as you've got an email and they want that ebook, you still have an ability to get in contact with them. So don't be discouraged if they give you a fake number, at least initially. I'll show you how to follow up with people like that, okay? So this is an ebook opt-in, and when they opt in for this, they put their information in there and they say, send me the ebook. And we'll just go ahead and show you an example of that. I'm just going to use some dummy information for now. So I just opted in, and I say email me the news book, and this is automatically checked. It says send me the newsletter. So they're not only going to get the ebook, they're immediately going to be added to your newsletter campaign. Just so you know, many of our opt-ins are like that. So we like to get them in both areas, and the only way that they wouldn't get it is if they uncheck that box. Okay? Let me see if I can make my pointer bigger so that everybody can see that. So just 1 second here. Okay. Sorry about the delay. There we go. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this. I hope it works out. Okay. So they click email me the free ebook, they get the newsletter, they're immediately added into your back office, and as you can see, this page is going to load. You push the button and they get this page. It says processing, and what's happening right now is your system is automatically sending them an ebook that is totally customized with your information. So you'll see here in this area right here, your information is going to be there, and you don't have to do anything to do this. It's very professional. It's a beautiful presentation, and your information is put here with your phone number and all of your website information intact on this beautiful ebook. So when they go to check their email, I used a bunk one, but they would go to check that, and they would have the beautiful Alkaline Balance ebook in their email. So it says close to return to my website. So we did that, and now we're back to the website. So they can go on and look for more information. This opt-in works the same way, and at the bottom we have an opt-in that works exactly like that as well. So this is more of a contact me form. So if they want to really, say they looked at the videos and they really want you to contact them, they give you a little bit more information and ask you to contact. They can actually put comments like, hey, I'm very interested, I found this online, can you tell me more, give me a call, that type of thing, okay? So there I've showed you the ebook opt-in and of course the automatic newsletter opt-in. Real quickly through the other sites, you can see here on the E2, here's the ebook. Again, here's the newsletter opt-in choice right there. Okay, automatically checked. So it works the same way, folks. and then you have all of your other social information and contact information at the bottom of this site. And they're sprinkled throughout the site. So here's the E4. We have a DVD opt-in, which is a powerful prospect to generate, and that pops out on the side. I'll show you how that works here. You'll see that pop out in a second. This is the ebook, and again, here's the newsletter pre-checked. So a lot of people are just going to opt in for the ebook, leave that checked, and go ahead and get on your newsletter as well. And that's an important point that I'll come back to. And this is how the DVD opt-in works. So you saw that popped out, tell me more, they get on there, and here they're giving you a whole lot more information, which is awesome. So they're going to give you your name, their address, and everything they need to ship it. This is probably one of the best, most qualified leads that you can get. When you call them, just make sure you qualify them and make sure that they're interested enough for you to invest in sending them a DVD. If not, I always say sidestep and use Kangen Demo. Just let them know actually you just uploaded the presentation, here's a link, and you can still give them a presentation if they're cool to the fact that where you don't want to invest the money to send them a DVD. So that's a good tip to remember. On E5 we have the Get More Info box, and of course all the site has the demo and everything, and all that's intact on whatever page that they're on. So they can type in their information, and of course the opt-in in this area here is customizable. Okay. On the E6 we have the same thing, ebook, newsletter pre-checked. They fill that out. They're on the Eco Living ebook, as well as the Eco, they'll also get the Eco Living email series. So this is a series designed to go with the Eco Conscious E6 website. So everything's targeting an audience depending on what site we're on. Here we are at the commercial website. This site is to target commercial businesses, and so you know, here we are, a DVD opt-in right here, and the entire site again is to angle towards them to get this free DVD. They play the video, it's right up front and center, and they watch it, and there's testimonials, all great things going on. At the end it says get yours today. So they opt in, and bam, you've got yourself a DVD prospect, somebody who owns a business. And the same thing over with UConn. We tell them, hey, a free consultation. This is something that's more of a second and third step when you're working with a prospect, but we have the opt-ins there as well. So what I want to do now is show you what happened when I opted in on the E1 website. Okay, so let's go back. What's going to happen initially is you're going to get an email from EWS saying you have a new ebook prospect. Okay, and I tell everybody to log into your back office and work the prospects from your back office. It's very important. Never work it from an email, because I'm going to show you tonight how to be organized and to make a very highly effective and responsive database. So we log into your back office on your homepage. You come down here under Manage Back Office, and you go to the Prospect Emailer. I'm sorry, it's been a long day. Manage Prospects. Go to Manage Prospects. Okay, now we're in the Prospect Manager. And this is where all of the prospects that you are getting will land. Okay? So every time somebody opts into your site, you can come back here and you can pull them up. You can also select what database you want to look into. So the prospect that I just submitted on the demo site there was for free ebook. So I can select that and go there. And find that prospect here. It should be right there at the top, so let me hit this. Anyway, demo accounts don't work perfectly. So let's say I opted in as Richard as an example. So Richard lands into your back office. He's got the ebook and newsletter coming out to him. Okay? And what I want to do is show you, he's not involved in any groups yet because we haven't grouped him from the ebook and newsletter. Right now, all he's done is gone to my website, opted in, and asked for the ebook and newsletter. So he shows up in your back office, and let's say you got an email and you want to check him out and see what's going on. So you could pull up his profile, you could do a quick bird's eye view, and this is all the information that we have. You can see there with that pop-up window, it's got his name, his email address, his phone number, the lead source, he came from the D4, and he got the ebook. And also has his IP address, which can be useful later. In one of our more advanced trainings, I'll show you how you can use that. So that's just a quick view. So if you're looking through your leads, you want to see who's here, you can quickly click through these little boxes. Moving on to the next icon here in your Prospect Manager is the pencil icon. This is how we open up his prospect profile. This is important. If Richard called you at any point in time, I want you to log into your back office immediately and click this pencil icon. You can search for his name up here if you need to. You can type it in and hit go if you can't find him. There's search tools up here that you can utilize, the entire database or whatever area that you want. Find him and pull his prospect profile by clicking this pencil icon. I'm going to get a drink of water. All right. This is his prospect profile. Every single prospect that you ever get will have a profile. It's important to always work with and open the prospect profile every single contact that you have with them, because you're going to be able to do things like put them in groups according to their interests so that you can target them with certain emails, and that will come together here in a bit. So here's a place where you can put them in groups. So if I talked to Richard and I found out that he was sick of the plastic bottle conspiracy, tired of this drinking bottled water or whatever, I might put him in the eco-conscious group, and that's all you do is you check him there. Now he is in the eco-conscious group. Okay, that's one example of how you can target. And as you talk to him some more, maybe you do a couple more calls and you try to close him. Maybe he says, I'm not quite ready to buy, and I check that box. Now you've got him eco-conscious group and you've got him in the not quite ready to buy group. Okay, that's going to allow you to target emails to those particular groups. So everybody that's in the eco-conscious group will get any email that you send to that group, and anybody that's in the ready to buy group will get any email from that group. That's how we're going to target them with the one-clicks and follow-up emails, which I'll show you here in a bit. So again, moving down, we have information on him. You can put his business name if you end up getting that, his mobile phone, and you try to collect as much information that you can. If it was a DVD prospect, this box of information would be filled in. So the address, city, state would already be there. You'd have all this information on a DVD prospect. You could offer to send him a DVD while you're on the call, and you could fill that information in. So your goal is to collect as much information on this prospect as you possibly can. The information is going to empower you as you follow up with them and work with them down the road. So you might ask them the best time to call when you're following up, maybe put their time zone in, any website they might reference that they have, their interest. You can kind of see where they're at. You can even ask them, what's your interest level at this point? I'm just researching, I'm checking it out. Okay, why are you interested in Kangen water? Mother is not well. Heard about this online. Okay, so you put that information in there because he told you that. Okay, and if you can gather the information on what he's interested in the early stages he won't know, but later on he might, you would then figure out what he's interested in and check those boxes. So SD501 and then move down. How did you find us? Sometimes this information is filled out for you, but you can ask him how you found us. That's a good thing to know. And then any comments and notes that you want to keep track of on this particular prospect. So these can be like personal comments about the person, and then here you want to fill out maybe every time you talk to them. Yada yada, just for example. Called and did a follow-up, yada yada, whatever information you have, and then every time you get a new call, you add another date so that when you come back in, you can go to the bottom and figure out what your last communications were and see a full record of all communications. Then we'll hit save. All right, so his profile is updated. You can see here Richard Amos is eco-conscious, ready to buy group, and all of his information's here. So now as we're working with Richard, we might decide a week later we want to send Richard an email. This icon right here will open his prospect, his email address directly in your prospect mailer. Okay, so we know he's eco-conscious. So let's just go in here and load a template because you're busy and you've got things to do and you know that EWS takes good care of you. So let's go in here and choose a template that would be an eco-friendly angled template. We've got lots of them. So let's just let's protect the environment. He mentioned plastic bottles and stuff and how he doesn't like that. So let's look at this email. Let's see how that looks. So that looks pretty good. This has got some good information on it. Let's insert that. Okay. So now we've got a profile, a follow-up email all ready to go. We just give it a good subject, and then we can come down here and edit if we wanted to. Just keep in mind, keep it Always keep your edits compliant. Don't put anything ridiculous in there. But a lot of these are ready to go. It's a 100% compliant email. There's probably not a whole lot that you want to do, but maybe you want to personalize the first part. Maybe you want to talk about something that he mentioned and then personalize it so that he would read the rest of it. That's a good thing to do. Okay, now I want to send this email to him. You just hit send now. So that, I didn't have a subject in there. Okay, can be anything. Be creative with your subjects. And now I just sent Richard a follow-up email. So that's done. Going back to his profile to show you the rest of the features, we've got a stat feature here. This will show when Richard opens that email. So to do that, you would just click this, and it will load up all the emails that Richard has seen. Now, being a demo account, it says never, but that email I just sent him would show up right here, and when he reads it, it'll tell me that he read it, and it will say what links he clicked. Okay, so you'll have this information at your fingertips, and then you can click and see which emails you sent that particular person. And this can be valuable in the process of follow-up. But I do want to say, do not get hung up on the stats. Okay, if you go here and it doesn't update for the prospect and it looks like they didn't see anything, it doesn't mean they didn't. Okay, just so you understand, this is done through a tracking code via an image in the email itself. In today's world, we've got Google, who is filtering everything down to spam. They're also filtering everything into, they're turning off the images on a lot of emails, and you have to actually set it to look at the image. There's just many blocks. There's firewalls and stuff out there. So keep in mind that it's a privilege and a great thing to be able to see what emails prospects looking at, but it does not mean that they didn't see your email, and it does not mean it's not working. So please keep that in mind. It's a tool, but it's not 100% accurate. So again, you can use this tool, and a lot of times it does work, and it can give you some great insight on a particular prospect. Okay, so the next icon that we're going to see here in the Prospect Manager is your Task Manager. So let's go back here. I'll show you that again. All right, so let's say I talk to him and I want to set up a follow-up. He say, hey, I'm busy right now. Call me next week. I would come into the Prospect Manager, pull him up, and I would go to this icon, and I would click it. And that's going to automatically load Richard's information in this box right here. You can see his information right here, okay? So you don't have to do anything else over here. It's got notes. It's got all the information you need there, and you can set up a follow-up for a select date. So let's say he wants me to call him on Saturday at 3 o'clock, and you hit save. And then you can set the 2. This is more for like blocks of appointments, so if you don't really know how long it's going to take, just maybe put an estimate in there. So let's say 3:20. Maybe give them a 20-minute phone call. All right, so then you would type in here, follow up with Richard, Ames, okay, and then you would put details about it. And then you might mention anything, maybe any notes that he might have said, or any hot buttons that you want to remember and hit next week. Would you like a reminder? You always want to click yes, because it will email you at the appropriate time. So you probably want to do it more than a minute. So I would say either a day before, depending on your schedule, or hours before. For me, I would normally do maybe a couple hours before, because I check my email every couple hours, and I would hit Save Task. And what this is going to do is load up a follow-up right into the Task Manager. Now you can see how the database is integrated with every tool that you need and right into the follow-up process. So now we've got a task on the Task Manager, which we will go into depth on later. I'm not training too deep on this, but I wanted to show you the feature there. Now we've got a task scheduled for Richard that will remind me via email to follow up at a particular time. Okay, well that loaded a little bit late, probably because I'm running a lot of bandwidth here. But you can see right here, the 31st, it says 3 o'clock, I have an appointment, and you can mouse over, it says follow up Richard, it's got all the information you just put in there. And again, all of that will be emailed to you. So this is a powerful feature. that you want to utilize when you're doing your follow-up. So back to the Prospect Manager, we're going to the next button, which is the delete button. You don't want to do this unless you absolutely have to. Okay, so if you're talking to somebody, please remove me, you call them, just go ahead and come in here and click this button, and when you hit OK, it's unreversible, they will be removed from your database. Always respect people when they say remove me after you've talked to them. Just go in here to their profile, hit the X button, and get rid of them. All right, and opt out, somebody that wants off your list is not a loss, so just so you know, I mean, when you're pumping away and you've got your site ranked in the search engine and you're getting traffic consistently, losing a prospect is a win, believe it or not, because you've got plenty of people to come in all the time. It's a numbers game, and as you refine your list and you have people opting out that are totally not interested, you're not wasting your time. So it's important to remember that opt-ins, opt-outs are just as important as opt-ins. And the audience that you have left is the people that you want to focus on and work with the most. All right, I hope everybody's doing okay there. I am on a little bit of delay, so I'm just going to go ahead and continue. I see my team there answering all the questions that need answered. So I hope things are going smoothly. We love you guys, and I appreciate your patience this evening. Okay, so I just showed you the entire system here as far as, you know, when you go to manage prospects, it loads up and you've got your bird's eye view of all your database and then all the icons and what they do. So we understand that now. You can also select how you want to sort them. You can sort them by campaign, group, rating, opt-ins, etc. Okay? Up here, like I showed you before, you can search different campaigns for prospects. So if you know they're a free DVD prospect and you want to search their email, name, or group or IP address, you can do any of these things, paste their name or whatever into this box. And actually, he's not a free DVD, so let's do the ebook. Then you hit go, and it pulls him up. So you can see how easy it is to search for a prospect. You can use this tool here. It's very useful. Okay, let me look at my notes here. Okay, so you saw, you know, where people opt in, how they opt in, where they land in your back office. So one of the things you want to remember when working with prospects that just opt in from your site for the DVD, ebook, or newsletter is it's going to require follow-up on your part. They may not reach out to you and ask you to call them, but they often do. When you have a good system rolling and you've got prospects coming in and you're managing your database, you will get results. You will have people begin to call you more. The more efficient you are, the more efficient your database will be. So keep that in mind. Your goal is to contact each prospect that you get. So when Richard opted in and he landed in my back office, I got an email and I came in and I looked at his information and I researched him with all the tools that I showed you. I would probably want to go ahead and give him a call. He gave me a phone number, so let's see if that phone number works. We give him a call and we talk to him and we get as much information as we can. The important thing to remember about calling prospects is you need to listen to them. Don't get all excited and blah, blah, blah about Enagic and Kangen water when it's not welcomed. You want to be patient with that and listen to what they are looking for. Maybe ask them how they found you. That kind of opens the door into what they're looking for, what their interests are, and then try to gently work your message into their interest and where they're at. So that's an important aspect. So when you're calling somebody, you don't want to turn them off by telling them, this is the greatest technology I've ever seen in my life. Oh, it's just changed my life. It does this and that and the plates and and you're talking all this technical stuff. Keep it simple. Follow up with them. Say, have you looked at the ebook? Have you had a chance to review that? If not, set up a follow-up appointment. If so, maybe they have questions. So just have a soft open with your prospect and find out where their interests are, how they found you, and if they had reviewed the information. If not, like I said, set up a future appointment and then update as much information as you can on that prospect and then set your follow-up, your next follow-up with them by clicking this button here. Okay? It's all, and then it's all done and you know when the next time you got to talk to them. Your goal is to contact these guys as many times as possible and to help them through the information, to guide them through your other websites. If they opted in on E1 and got the ebook, they probably don't have a whole lot of information until they read the ebook and get your newsletters. Once they get past that stage, they might have questions, and we hope they do. When they start asking questions, this is when the other websites come into play. Okay, so I encourage all of you to refer 3 people to EWS and get all these add-ons, because it'll be very helpful down the road. But don't worry about it. You don't need it at first, okay? Work with what you got. So if you've got the E2 site and you're talking to somebody and you want to do a follow-up with them, they ask for more information about maybe how the other usage, maybe you guys got talking about that. Know your website and know where to find that information so that you can link them to this particular information and set up a follow-up for them again. So you can say, hey, I've got this video library and this page on my website that tells you all about the different usages. Let me send that to you and give you a call next week. I know you'll have questions. Make sure you watch all the videos on my site and we'll get back to you. That's just another example of how to follow up and set another appointment to take them through the information. So now they're sold on Kangen water, but they haven't bought a machine yet. Somehow you leaked out information about the business, and you've got the E5 site right here. Okay, so if they're open to the business at that point, whatever point they're at, this is when you tell them to come to your E5 site. You send them a link and tell them to take the tour, and that you'll give them a call to follow up. So it's really important to know your sites, to know the information that's on your sites and where everything's located, so that when you're talking to people, you can direct them to the next stage. Your goal is to take somebody from a cold prospect to a warm prospect to a warm Kangen water person, you know, somebody that's interested in the water, to making that sale, to then stepping them through the distributor process, you know, getting them to look at this as an opportunity and share this technology with other people. And you can see clearly now how this prospect system will help you do that, okay? I see questions coming in about the add-ons. The add-ons, you know, we price them at a low cost just to cover the bandwidth costs that we would have with hosting that site, so it's very cheap and available. I don't want to overwhelm people with saying, hey, you got to have every site right now, because you don't. I encourage people to pick one site that fits what they're working on. If you're just going for the business boomers and you want the business, then sorry for my clicking around there, but there's the E5. You could just get this site and start here. If you're looking to get prospects that are just Kangen water focused, I would suggest the E4 site, and you could start here. But just start with one site, and as you build your business, add other sites as you need them, and then of course refer 3 people, and you don't ever have to worry about that again. Everything's covered for you. The next part I want to show you about the manager is the grouping feature. Okay, this area right here, groups. Groups are very important because the group helps you put people in groups that you can target an email to or a follow-up, so that you don't have everybody in one big database. How many times have we been on some business builder or MLMer's database where they just dump all kinds of stuff on us? They're from one business to the next. They're over here, they're over there. They're telling us about this amazing product, and they're telling us about this other company's business, and they're mixing it all up. Eventually, we just opt out. We don't want to be bothered. We just delete it, or we filter their emails and never look at them again. Okay? When you have a database that you're engaging and you're targeting, people become interested in your message because they're only seeing what they're interested in at the right time. And what's great about our grouping feature is that you can create as many groups that you want. So as you begin and you build your business and you're realizing your strengths and you're realizing the angles that work best for you, you're able to create as many different groups that fit your needs. And every time you talk to somebody new and you have a new group come up, you can create a new group. And then what happens is you start attracting other people that would relate to that group, and you add them to that group. Okay, so right here is how we manage groups. We click that button there, and you'll see an area where you can add your new group. And down below, you'll see an area that has all the current groups that you have. And again, this is a test account, and this can actually have any number of groups and anything named anything that you want them to be. Some popular ones are ready to buy. Those are your hot prospects. You can even call it hot prospects. Not quite ready is another popular one. They're not quite ready. So you don't want to bombard them too much. You want to give them teaser information. You want to get them to make sure they've seen your ebook and read it. I would put anybody that hasn't read the ebook yet and you're not quite ready group, and I would target one-click emails that we send to you pre-designed, ready to go, If we send you one, you're like, wow, that would be great for my not quite ready group. You could easily send this to your entire not quite ready group, and the follow-up's done on your behalf. Okay. As another example, you might have a group for eco-conscious, obviously, so you get your E6 prospects would be in here, and you're talking to somebody, you might move them into that group. So you can assign as many groups, you can assign a person to as many groups as you have. You don't want to do too many because your goal is to work them through the groups. So if they came in not quite ready and then they became a skeptic, maybe you said something wrong, you would want to uncheck their profile where it says not quite ready and maybe check the skeptics. And you want to actually be changing these every time you talk to them until you get them into the ready to buy group and you're closing them. Or you get them into a business group, you know, business builders. They mention, hey, you know, I know a lot of people, I'm a construction worker, we put in water systems in our homes, I think I could actually put these in homes, you know, and then maybe you talk to him about it and you put him in the business group. Now he's getting emails from you about the business. That's the science behind what we're talking about. That's the science behind the groups. And then going back to the prospects, you can see here, Fred Doe, if you pull him up, all the different groups he's in. So I'm talking to Fred, you know, I find out he's a leader, I might check that box, but, you know, let's say, you know, so he's eco-conscious and then he talks about the business. That's how you do it, you check it. Maybe he's a bit of a skeptic, you know, and then we come down here and we hit save. Now, Fred is in all those groups. As you can see, he's in all those groups. So every email you send to these particular groups by going to your prospect emailer, I'm just going to show you this real quick. This is a topic for another training. And we type in, let's say, ready to buy group, and we want to send them an email. That's done. Every single person that you have checked in that group will get this email. And then if you want to send them an email that entices them and you don't have time to write it, like I said, we've got tons and tons of follow-ups here that, you know, that would work great. So maybe send them some information on the clustering, which is some pretty cool information. You know, if you type in your subject and then you hit send down here at the bottom. It's that simple, guys. Follow up made easy. So going back to the groups, and I'm not watching all you guys. I hope everybody's doing well. Just going to keep on rolling here. Okay, so now we're in the back in the manage groups area. So when you first start out, this is going to be empty. So then you create your own group. So you know some basic groups. You know, you're definitely going to have a ready-to-buy group. You're going to have maybe call it a hot prospect group. You're going to have a cold prospect group. Maybe you're running ads in a newspaper and you want to call it a New York Times group so that all the prospects that come from that ad who is targeting a certain message, you would put them in the New York Times group. And it's real simple to create. You would go like this. We'll say New York Times ad, okay, and then you hit go. Now you just created a new group, and it's New York Times. See that? So now you've got a group there, and of course you can edit the group and work with the group with these buttons over here. Okay, so you can rename them whatever you needed to do, or just take a look at them real quick. So you go back to Manage Prospects. Let's pick out just a random prospect here. This one's blank, so we'll pick that one. So back to Richard again. All right, so he came in off the ad. We tracked him into the system. He opted in. We put him in this ad, and then we target, let's say the ad was about the microclustering aspect of Kangen water and maybe some taglines that are really important. The next follow-up that you would send them would be something that is angled towards that ad. So Richard would get the email that you would develop. And this is, you got to engage your business. You got to think about what you're doing. Sorry, go back to the prospect email. You got to think about what you're doing in your angle. So you ran an ad, and now you want to follow up. It's remembering my old information here. Sorry about that. All right, so now you want to follow up with the New York Times ad. You just simply type in new. You'll see it here in the list. Bam. Okay, you come up with I don't know. You know, I'm just kind of pulling this out of my head, but you know, you want to put a tagline in here so they know something that relates to the ad that you did, and then you would either design an email or you would load a template from some of the other emails that we've done for you. Okay, so now you've followed up with everybody that came from that particular group. Hopefully that makes it clear and that's helpful. Okay, I'm going to try to keep slow because I see people are saying I'm moving too fast. So that's how the grouping feature works. So you can create any group that you want. It adds it down here, and then when you're working your prospects, when they opt in and you're working with their profile, every single prospect from their profile, and you're talking to them, you're going to be creating new groups just for them. And then what's going to happen is you're going to attract other people that will fit into that group. That's how it evolves. You're not going to know all the groups at once. You're going to have some ideas, ready, cold, skeptic. You'll have some general things that you know that you're going to run into. You create those groups, you've got it. You're talking to somebody and you're like, wow, that sounds like a new group because I can target a sector of people that are interested in that particular thing. You create the group, and now you're off to targeting them with the appropriate message in your emails. All right, and we can cover some quick Q&A on this here in a little bit, but that's as simple as it is right there. Okay, checking my notes here. All right, cool. I think I covered a lot of that. The next thing I want to talk about is your team site and the importance of developing a team database. You know what? I'll save that till last. Since we're in here, let's talk about your add prospect feature. I want to talk about the fact that a lot of people out there don't have their prospects added into the system yet, okay? And that's okay. There's different processes that you can do to get your prospects into your system. One of them is to talk to them and engage them through a private email or a phone call, and you can come in here and add them. So if you're talking to Sally, you've got some rapport with her, you want to say, hey, look, I found this a wonderful thing. I want to share some information with you. Can I put you on my newsletter? You can just come right in here to your back office, and again, that's under the Prospect Manager. You hit Add Prospect, and then you select the campaign you want to put them in. She said she wanted to join your newsletter. Great. You would select the Health Awareness Newsletter. Okay, then you would put her information in here. All the information you have on here, phone number is vital. Everything that you have that you know, maybe you tell in the notes and the comments, I know her from high school, we just reunited, blah, 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 hit save, and now you've got a prospect. I didn't put her email address in, but then you just hit save and it adds her to your system. That's one way of adding people to your back office. Another way is contacting us. If you have a personal contact list where you can sign off a document, an agreement, and guarantee the fact that these prospects are your personal contacts, because we do not want spam issues, we will import your personal list. So let's say you've been developing a list outside EWS, maybe with Gmail or some other Outlook or Mac Mail or whatever, and you've got a database you've been working with and people are on your list. They're not spam lists or anything like that. We will import that list for you. So you can contact Live Help right here at this button and talk to us about that, and we'll take you through the process of importing your list. When we import your list, it's going to land in what we call a campaign. A campaign, I'm just going to touch on this, is just a campaign is a series of either letters or follow-ups that are going out. So you've got a health awareness newsletter campaign. This is just to reference the fact that everybody that's in your health awareness newsletter are getting a series of emails from you. That's the campaign. The ebook campaign is a few emails that welcome them and then send them the ebook itself. Okay. So these campaigns are just these different database. But when you add people, they land in your custom campaign, and we're tweaking the system right now, so it will be a little bit different, but this will still apply. So when the people are imported, they're going to land into your custom campaign, and then in your Prospect Manager, you can pull them up by going to your custom campaign here and hit go. Everybody that we imported will land in this custom campaign, and it basically means that they are not receiving any follow-ups until you engage them. So they're landing in a holding cell. They're not going to get any ebook or newsletter until you engage them. So what I would do is import my list if it's not a spam list, and then come back here to the custom campaign and see what I've got. Okay, my list is here. There won't be any of this information recorded because I haven't contacted them. Then what I would do is go to my prospect emailer for the first time, and I would invite that campaign custom. By typing in custom campaign, I would develop an email series inviting them to get my ebook and newsletter and maybe a personal message from me, and then of course telling them they can unsubscribe at the bottom of the email. When they unsubscribe or they stay on, either action is good because you're cleaning your list. And once you've done that a couple times and you've cleaned your list, the custom campaign that you've developed is now clean and ready for action. So when people stay on your list and agree to be on your newsletter, you can then begin to group them and move them into other areas of the presentation process. Okay? That's how I would do it. I would import a list and then say, hey everybody, I found this great thing. Come and check this out. I'd like to share with you this information. Opt in for my newsletter. Another way to do it, even better, would be maybe even to send them a direct link to your site and your ebook opt-in. For example, the E4, you could come here and go to your, you could actually link them directly to the site. Just copy the link and then say, go back to your back office. You got your email here, custom campaign. Any subject that would relate to your list, and then you could just simply develop an email. I'm doing this kind of roughly here to give you an example. Let me just do a blank template. Okay, that's a good one. Got a blank template. I would write my email to them, tell them about all the information that I want them to look at, paste my link in there. Whatever. All right, I'm not putting a whole lot of work into my punctuation or spelling probably, but anyway, you can see how it's done. So you develop an email, you send it out to your custom campaign, you send a link, and the next thing you know, you're following up with them and you're weeding those prospects out and developing them into others. So if you get a phone call from somebody on that list and they say, hey, I did get your ebook and I'm interested, you would come in here, you would pull their name, ebook prospects, you would go and find them in there, okay, and then let's say it was Ed, old high school buddy, you would pull their profile before you call them and you would call them. And then when you're talking to them, you start seeing what their interests are, what groups they fit into. If you need to quickly add a new group, bam, you do it right there. Okay, you just added a new group on the fly. You can see it right there. Bam! Now they're in the high school friends group. So you just have to, decide what's working for you, what you need to do, and it's always there and available for you. So I'm updating his information. I offer him a DVD. I put his address and information in there. I just update as much as I can. I set up the next follow-up and I hit save. And that's the process. Okay, so now he's no longer a part of your custom campaign. Now he's a part of any list that you wanted to put him in. Maybe he's ready to buy or whatever. So you would just update that, and the next follow-up that you go to send out, you would be thinking ahead, and you would come in and just type in either his name directly or the group that he's in. Okay? The final part before we go to Q&A, I wanted to talk about here, and I'll do it real quick because I do want to do some questions tonight. The team database is an important part because we did build an ability for you to collect and manage a database of your team. So as you build your business and you have a team, you want to have a database with your entire team on it. And you can do the same type of thing with your team. You can group them into groups. You can, you can split them apart into different areas. Like highly active business, or not quite working group or whatever. So you've got different groups. So when you go to email your team, you're following up with them in the same manner. You're giving them information they need to get them to the next level. Okay, so the system helps you do that. If you log into your back office here, like I am at your home page, and you scroll down, you'll see your team site down here towards the bottom, along with all your other sites. And you can open that up. You can configure a domain name for it. So if it's, if your name is Kangen Power Team, you can get kangenpowerteam.com, and you can share that link with everybody. Or you can just use this link. Doesn't matter. All right, so you would send this to every single person that buys a machine, wants to be on your team. They fill it out. They land in your back office. As a quick side note, if they sign up from your team page right here, you'll get credit for every sale that comes through. So once you get 3, you get all the websites for free, all the add-on websites. So that's an easy way to refer people to EWS. Use the team site. Use the team site for all this, you know, and then you've got everything in one place. So in the back office, you'll see when people opt in, you'll get a notification that somebody joined your team list, and you would go to the team members group, and it will pull up everybody that's in your team list. And you've got the same features, the same thing. You can see what emails they looked at. You can schedule a call or a follow-up or whatever you got to do with your teammate. You can email them directly and update their profile. All right? So I hopefully showed you tonight the importance of doing all this. I mean, having a team database is going to give you the ability to tell your team where you're at. If you're not following up with your prospects or your team, the energy goes stagnant. So always remember that the fortune is in the follow-up. Everything that you do is about that follow-up process. So you always want to be working with people, and your goal is to be in contact with them as many times as possible, move them through the information in a manner that fits them so that you don't lose them, so that they're interested the whole way through, and your ultimate goal is to walk them through a prospect to a business, an Enagic business owner. And this system will help you leverage that. I will tell you that with having your database in one place and not scattered about, you will feel better, you will feel more empowered and organized, you'll be able to follow up so much more effectively. You'll be moving people through in and out of your information. You won't be spamming people who just want off your list and can't stand it anymore. And as you market your business online, which we teach you to do, and we have the training already available for you to do this, you rank your site in the search engine, you start getting traffic, and the bottom line is over time the traffic picks up and you have leads coming in all the time, and then it's a filtering process. The system helps you filter them, it helps you organize them, it helps you follow up, and eventually you come up with a compacted database that responds to you in a way that you'll never experience anywhere else. So I encourage all of you to tap into this, get your database integrated, start using this for your business. Don't use anything else. Use this system for everything Enagic and get that database highly organized and highly responsive. All right. I'm going to take a drink of water and then we'll do some questions here. I know we're on a slight delay. Hopefully this training helped all of y'all tonight. I'm going to come on here and Chris, you out there, buddy?
Yes, I am. Hello, everyone.
Chris, we can't hear you. You on there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
We have. Oh, wait. I can hear you now, Chris. So what do we got?
All right, so I have a great question from actually a couple of people, but let me, we have Chiropractic Family Wellness. Thank you very much for your question. They're asking, how do we get more than one website, which is one of the things you saw before in the chat. Okay. And also, to talk a little bit about what are the pricings for every single website.
All right. Let me reshare my screen here for you. All right, so when you sign up, you go through the sign-up process, and tonight I'm going to send you some sign-up links so you guys can sign up and get all the special deals that we have here. So be looking for those in your chat window. If you're interested in signing up tonight, click on the right-hand side, and if you have a team member that you want to get credit, just put them in the notes, and tonight we will make sure you're connected and that your leader, your upline, gets credit for your sign up this evening. So just note them, go ahead and get signed up tonight. So when you sign up, you select one site, and I'm going to quickly show you that. E4 is a great site to start with, so it's just one, but so is the E2. I mean, we just really have a lot of great sites. So you decide which site based on your angle and what you want to do initially, and then you click get this site, and then you sign up. And if you sign up for a year, you get 2 months free. Okay, and you select the first site that you want to start with, and you stop there. You get signed in. You take a couple videos that we will send you on that will teach you the next steps on getting your site going. But your website will be instantly available for you at the moment you hit, submit. As soon as that pay, you can go to your back off into your email address that you gave us, go to your inbox, and you will see your website, and you'll have instant access to your site, and you can begin using it right away. It's that simple, folks. So once you get integrated and you've got your site, you'll get a login to your back office in that same email, and whatever username and password you selected will bring you here. And you'll see the site. Let's say I selected the E1. It would be just that site, and then you would see just your E2 site. I'm sorry, your team site. So you would have the site you selected in your team site available there on this side, okay? Or any other sites that you would have. Now, down the road, you know, when you first start, I wouldn't suggest getting more than a site, but if you wanted to do it, you can come into your back office after you sign up, and then you would go to Manage Account. So under Manage Back Office, you would click that, and then you would go Manage Account, and then you go Manage Add-ons. All right, this is the area where you can manage all of the websites that you have. Now, being a demo account, we've got them all on here, so it would look different for somebody that was new. So let's say you wanted to subscribe to an add-on. You would click this button right here. All right, and then down here would be listed the sites that you don't have and what is available to you. And then you would select this drop-down box will have the sites listed, you know, E1, 2, 4, 5, 6, whatever. You would select that, select the method of payment, and then subscribe to this add-on. And it's you know, that simple. And then once you add that site on, it'll show up over here. And Chris, give me a rundown. Give them a rundown of the prices on those sites, the add-ons. Once you add on, it's like, you know, between $3 to $7 depending on the site.
All right, so for the E1, remember that I'm going to give you the pricing both for the monthly and the yearly service because it depends on what type of program you have. For the E1, it is a $3 monthly and then $30 a year. Then for the E2, we have $7 a month and then $70 a year. Basically, you can just multiply times 10, you know, for the yearly service, but I'm going to go with every single one of them just in case. The E4 is also $7 and $70 a year. E5 is $12 and $120 a year. E6 is $9 a month, $90 a year. E7 is $9 a month and $90 a year. And finally, the E8 is $10 a month and $100 a year. Just for you to have more information and descriptions about all of these websites, I'm going to include on the chat a link in which you can read all the descriptions for every single one of the websites, plus these prices that I just mentioned, or the fees. And the great thing is that you can also have a demo display of every single website, so you can have a better perspective of what you can be getting and how you can move around the website.
Okay, thanks, Chris. So the bottom line is when you sign up, you get one site. Let's say you sign up and you change your mind. You can actually come back here to Manage Account, Manage Add-ons, and you can swap the sites out. So you get one site. So if you wanted to, said I didn't want the E4, I want to go E6 now, you can swap it out for free. Okay, so you get one site with your $30 a month or your $300 a year, and then you can swap out at any time. Please note, do never, never, never swap a site out that is aged or has a domain connected to it unless you're absolutely sure, because if that site is ranked in the search engines, you'll lose your ranking. You don't want to change a site once you've ranked and you've got a domain name and you're getting traffic. To do that would harm you in the search engine optimization world. So, you know, we try to keep the fees as low as possible. Some of the sites are more than others because they're multimedia driven. There's expense with bandwidth and whatnot. So some of the larger sites like the E5 with multimedia needs a whole lot more bandwidth. So it's priced very reasonably if you understood the cost of hosting a site. But at the end of the day, we thought, hey, you know, let's do a win-win, and you can get all of those add-ons for free. So every single site, including the German, the French, the Spanish, all of the different languages that we're developing now and for the future, and every single site and every new site that we develop onward, when you refer 3 people to EWS, you get all of them for free. So that's the key, guys. It's a win-win. When you refer 3 people, you're going to be building a business. Every time you sign somebody up, get them in the system, and you can actually view your referrals here. So when they sign up, they'll come in here to your system, and if you click View Referrals, these are your links. So if you want to send somebody, to sign them up, you can literally come here, copy that link, and paste it to them. When they use that link to sign up, you'll get credit. If you want to give them the 21-day trial instead, you can copy that link that's in your back office under View Referrals, and they can sign up using that link, getting the trial. So 3, and you get them all for free. All right, who else we got? What questions we have?
All right, excellent. So now we have another question, and a couple of people actually mentioned this. They're saying that using the demo account for the back office, they're looking at a lot of templates that they do not have. So I think it will be good to check what is the difference between my templates and the actual templates you can load from the prospect emailer.
The email templates?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so the question is what again? I'm sorry,
Yeah, no worry, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. So they saw that there were a lot of templates available on the back office. So it will be good to show them the difference between the My Templates tab on the prospect emailer against the My Templates on the Compose part.
Right, okay. So it's remembering the email that was in there. That's another feature of the system, so you don't lose your work when you're doing an email. So normally when you load this up, this will be empty, and then you would go to this box right here, Load Template. Every single one-click email that we ever have developed and will develop will always land back here. So like this week we sent an email out about busting myths. Let me see if I can find it. Let's bust some myths. We had 2 emails featured. It was Bust Myths 1 and 2. So you could literally come back here at a later time, and let's say you sent them Bust Myths 1, which is the first email in the series, and you wanted to bust some more myths, you would hit 2. Basically, this is just kind of to combat the ridiculous competitors that we have out there and their ridiculous claims. We do it with class here at Enagic, and these emails will give them very solid, classy information about why Enagic is superior. And there's some great information here. Just as an example, all you do is hit Insert, and now you've got a Bust the Myths, email ready to go. You don't have to do anything, but you can come in here and you can customize anything you want, okay? And you can personalize anything before you go and send it if you wanted to do that. And then your signature thing down here, don't touch that, leave that intact, because the system will automatically put your name, your phone number, and all your websites listed there. And then you don't want to touch this tag up here at the top either, the prospect first name tag, because it'll pick that up from the database. You don't have to change those 2 things. So that's one example. You just come in here, select a template, decide which one you want. We've got tons. Here's a business follow-up. Healthy finances are vital for living whole life balance, true health, as Mr. Shiro says. And then you would just come in here and you would hit the group that you want. So this is a business-focused email. I'm going to send it to the Business Builders group. Okay, and then you just scroll at the bottom and you hit send. And that's all there is to it. So any emails that we ever develop will be located right there, or you can one-click them directly from the emails that we send you, which will automatically load them up right here into this system. All right, what do we have next?
Rob, would you like to share another question?
I can't talk. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh.
What other questions we got?
Yeah, it looks like I was muted. About the only thing I'm seeing is actually some of the people are asking if their prospects are already in one campaign, they add them to the My Team campaign, will they be added as a duplicate? And the answer is yes to that. The only thing our system does check is if, let's say, they're already in the newsletter campaign, if they try to get added again using the same email address, the system will stop that because it will see it as a duplicate. But different campaigns, it's not going to look in that. So in the case of, let's say you're wanting to move them from a newsletter, they're no longer getting over to the My Team campaign, you can just manually move them using the Prospect Manager.
That's right. And you can do all that back here, like what I showed you tonight, where you can edit your profile, your prospects, and then group them accordingly. All right, what other questions we have? We got lots of people here. I'm happy to answer questions onward here. Would like to hear from all of you. Like, I know we're on a bit of a delay, so remember that, guys. But we'll probably just give a couple minutes. But
I got another one.
okay.
Going back to the managing prospecting part, is there's a question that says, how can I look at the emails that I've sent to a specific prospect?
How do I look at the emails that I sent to a particular prospect? Okay, so we showed that earlier. You would log into your back office, and that's what it looks like. You would go to Manage Prospects, and then you would pick that particular person out of the group, and you'd just pick whatever prospect you're looking at, and then you would hit this icon right here. And that will open up all of the emails that Fred got, and then it will tell you here what he's read and what links he has clicked. And being a test account, these are all bunk email addresses, so it's always going to look like that. But this graph would be detailed, and you would have all this information at your fingertips. So it's that simple. It's good to do that. You know, when you have somebody you've had in your system for a while, they got the ebook, the newsletter, you've been sending them follow-ups, I would always absolutely come in and check that out before I gave my next follow-up phone call. Because the last email they looked at could be a hot button. We invited him to the Enagic business plan, for example, like here, and let's say he read it and clicked the link. We could ask him about that when we got back in touch with him, and then hit those hot buttons. You know, sent you an email. You know, I wouldn't necessarily say that I saw that you read it. That might freak people out. But you know, you could literally use that information to leverage your presentation and your follow-up with that person. All right, who's next?
All right. Let me see which other questions I have over here. There was another one. They were saying that they see a lot of subjects when you click on the subject button on the prospect emailer. That sometimes it shows a lot of subjects. So they were looking forward to see how to delete those. And it's basically going and deleting the history of their account.
They would need to clear their cache on their web browser to do that.
At the same time, for example, if you go to the history, let's go for a moment to a prospect emailer, and you go where it says history on the top. You just need to delete the emails that you don't use anymore, and as soon as you delete that email, then automatically we delete that subject as well.
Think hard before you do all that. It's actually a good feature to have, because when you're in here and you're sending multiple follow-ups to people, the test account looks ridiculous, but it's very useful because you're going to be sending the same emails to people over and over and over again, and you're going to be developing your own emails. We're going to do a training on this entire system. Was it next week? I think we're doing this next week. So you're going to learn how to tie this together with the other system, and you'll learn every feature of this. But it's very useful, actually, to have that record and to be able to utilize that when you're actively developing, organizing, and executing follow-ups with your database. All right, what else we got? Someone's asking, can we upload invitations into Prospect Emailer from MS Word? That's from Jeanette. Okay. You can, but it depends. I mean, I use a Mac, for example, so it's been a while since I've been on Windows. But if it's text and images, you might run into a problem. But you can literally copy and paste, any information from an email. I'll have an email as an example, and then come in here and paste it. So let's do a blank template. what I would do is try to get all the text aspect of everything and then rebuild my email. So let's pick a blank template and then begin our email. I'm going to use one of our EWS training emails. Okay, so let's say this was in your document or whatever. So, you might come in and copy the content, and then go back to your email and paste it. Okay, so it may not grab and probably won't grab the images if it's not in an HTML format. But now we've got that text. Okay, so we can format it better. We can, this would be whatever name, but you could put that prospect tag in here. Like I said, this is a future class, but you can come in here and you can insert images and rebuild your email, and you can also upload images here. Okay. Bring images in from that particular piece and rebuild it, and that's how I would suggest doing it, unless you have HTML code, which is a little bit more advanced. If you have HTML and you can copy it, you know what that is, you can hit this right here, and you can copy and paste the HTML code, and it will be exactly like the email. I'll show you an examples. So the email that we send about the training, okay, that's an HTML document, so I can hit it's not working like I intended. Where's the view source here? It's not working like I intended, darn it. Anyway, you can view the source on this, and then you would copy and paste that HTML into this, and it would literally look exactly like this email here because it's the HTML code. I'm loaded in a particular way, guys, and normally I can right-click and hit View HTML, and I can copy that and bring it in and show you, so I apologize for not being able to do that, but that's how that works. Rebuild your emails. You can copy and paste any text you need and then just make it look pretty. If you need images, you need to bring them in, you can insert them appropriately. All right. What else we got?
I have one more question here. It says, how can you know more about the prospects if all you can see is their IP number?
All right. You guys want to see something cool? I'll go ahead and repeat that, what we did last week. I'll show you an example, so everybody tune in. If everybody's not asleep by now, I'm going to show you something cool. Still got lots of people here. That's awesome. I must be interesting this evening. That makes me feel good. All right, so I'm going to reload this screen share because it's a little bit buggy. All right, here's an example of how an IP address can serve you. And it's not going to be perfect because it's an example, but one of the things that are great about our back office, and this is off topic, but it does relate, I guess, to the database, so we can cover it, is your website stats area. We give you some very basic application here that will give you basic information. Otherwise, we'd overwhelm you. So in this area, under Manage Back Office and Website Statistics, whenever it decides to load, I've got a lot of bandwidth rocking here today, you will see come on, load up. Sorry. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, on this page you're going to see a statistic area where you can actually look at who came to your site. You can pull their IP address, and you can reference that IP address to the person. So if you wanted to, if you got a prospect, which always tells you their IP address, you could take that IP address and search them in the database and find out where they came from. So there's application for that. I wish the internet was working right now, and hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Can you hear me okay, Chris?
Yes, sir, I can.
All right, we'll see if we can get that to load. Meanwhile, I'm going to show you the other aspect of what I was going to show you. All right, So back to the back office while that statistic page loads. See if we can get this. Not cool. It's coming. Anyway, so we don't have dead air. We have built an application that allows you to integrate with Google Analytics, which is kind of advanced for a lot of people, but if you're doing Google Ads or you're advertising otherwise in Google or anywhere else, you could utilize their statistics system. It's called Google Analytics, and in the back office there's a place where you can integrate that. An easier method of integration would be this. You go to statcounter.com, and hopefully we can get our internet working well here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Write this down, statcounter.com. You can get a free account with them. It was already preloaded, so that loaded fast. You can get a free account with these folks, and they give you a lot for free. So when you log into your account, you can set up free stat systems for your EWS websites. And like I said, in your back office, we integrated so that you can easily plug that in. And what you want to do is you go to Manage Back Office, you go to Manage Websites, okay, and then this is where you can configure all of your different websites, whatever you've got. So let's say we have the E2 website, okay, and we want to put we want to track stats on this website. We would come in here and we can help you with this through support at live chat right here if you get lost. Configure website, and then this right here connects to our statistics app that will allow you to plug into these external systems and get really awesome statistics on your traffic. So as you can see here, there's a bit of code because we set this website up the last training we had to show people. So this code comes from here. You sign up for a new account, this will be empty, and you click Add Project. Just to show you real quick, I won't go too deep into this. Project URL would be the website URL, whatever that is. If you've got a domain name, you know, you would link it to that. It would be whatever is listed up here. This is a demo account, so it's the default web domain. So we'll copy that. Go back to Stat Counter, and we put that in there, okay? Project title, you can call it whatever you want. E2 Stats, for example. And you can create groups, not necessary right now. Select where you're at. And then select your time zone, okay? Now, do not check this box. If you remember anything, don't check this Make Statistics Public, because you don't want people on your website to view your stats. It's just not a good thing to do. So don't check that. And then you come over here, and I highly suggest you do the invisible tracking option. So we showed people this last week. They were really excited. To do a visible tracker, we'll put this at the bottom of your EWS site, and I highly suggest you don't do that. So go for the invisible tracker, okay? And then it will offer you reports. So the system will send you weekly statistic reports, monthly, daily, whatever you want. So you just select what you want, you put your email address in here, and you will get updates from them with a report of your traffic for the week. So this is a good thing to have when you're starting to market your site online, you're doing the training that we're providing you, and you're starting to see traction happen. This tool will be great because it'll keep you in touch with everything that's happening on your website. Okay, and then you click Add Project, and when you do that, it's going to load up your Projects tab. And then whatever name you gave it would be right here. So we set up the E2 site earlier, okay? And then it will tell you the traffic you had. You know, it says none today, being a demo account. Yesterday we had 29 hits on the E2. And this is just a really quick bird's eye view. Actually, I actually need to show you guys this full example. Sorry, going back to this. Invisible, remember, okay, add project. I forgot, I need to show you how to insert the code. This is the page you land on after you add the project. Click here, default instruction guide, installation guide, and then your code's going to be right here under basic. I know this seems, you know, just come back to this video and you'll see how to do it. Basic, you copy that code right there. And that's all there is to it. You go back to your all there is to it for that project. You go back to your EWS back office and you paste your code here just like we see, okay? And then you hit save. And you can do that for any website. You can do it for all your sites. When that happens, you're going to have statistics recording on that site. So in the question that we got about the IP address, you've got your project set up, you got your stats counting like we have here, and then we can come in and take a look at the traffic. And it's got lots of details. You got graphs here, it tells you all the unique visits, all this stuff. Really great information here. And we can go into detail another time, but here's all the different traffic we're getting to the site and a bird's eye view. Tells you where they came from, what pages they come from, the popular pages on your site where people come, keywords that they might have searched for. This is no data because it's a demo site, but they're like if they search for Kangen water and you came up, there would be data there and show you who came from where. If you're doing any paid traffic, it can track that, like Google AdWords, where people came from, recent activity. It just goes on. Search engine wars. You would see Google, Yahoo, MSN, whatever you're getting traffic from, will show you where the bulk of your traffic's coming from. Okay, so what I'm going to show this gentleman or lady that asked was the IP address lookup. Down here at the bottom, now that you have a database built, you can look up an IP address. So for the scenario to answer the question, which is a long time coming, let's say you got a prospect and you got an email and you went in and you opened their profile up. And you wanted to reference their IP address. The IP address will be in two places. It'll be in the email that you receive, and then it will be up here. Okay, so all you would do then is copy that if you wanted to see where they came from in detail. Go to statcounter.com and paste it in. This isn't going to work because, well, it may work. No, it didn't work. It'll show you out of your record of the entire time that you've had this site set up, every time that he came and all his history. So you'll see where he came from, what sites he's looked at, what pages, etc. There's just tons of information that you can gather here. This is an advanced way of working with prospects, and I don't suggest people jump right into this, but once you get rolling along, you got lots of traffic coming in, you want to just really know your prospect before you call him, that's how you would do it. And you can also, like I said, do basic search in your back office. You can see here, this is the basic, if you don't want to get into all that technical stuff right away, you can come back here and pull it up in the stats area. You see the IP addresses? You can search for an IP address right here and pull it up and hit this footprint button, and that will drill down and show you all the information on that prospect. So the stat counter will give you a lot more information, but we provide you probably with more than you need here for basic users. All right, hope that helped and I didn't bore anybody. What else? Do we have any other questions? Or
at the time, those are most of the questions that we have.
How's everybody doing out there? Did you enjoy the training? I know we're on a bit of delay. Just tell us if you enjoyed the training and what you guys thought. We'll go ahead and wrap this up. Let's see, what time is it? It's 32. We went a little long today too. All right. Anyway, so we hope you enjoyed the training tonight. I hope that you know, out of everything that you had that you've learned tonight, that it was very helpful. We apologize. I'm looking at your comments. Thank you. Thank you so much. You guys are forgiving and a wonderful audience, and I really enjoy teaching you because you're gentle. I get hot behind the ears when things don't go smoothly, and I'm a perfectionist. So, so tonight you just learned about how to manage and develop a database, which again is the most important thing that you're ever going to do with your Enagic business. So keep that in mind. Take it one day at a time. If you're new, just get signed up for EWS. Go to enagicwebsystem.com, get signed up, get your site ready, get things set up, and then maybe come back to the recording of this training and start with understanding the power of the Prospect Manager and what you have to do to target your audience. You'll get more results. You'll have a tight-knit system, and you're going to, as time passes through and you're working through your people and you're grouping them and bringing them through the different stages of information, you'll see a whole lot more sales, a whole lot more result, and you're going to be a very happy, healthy, successful Enagic distributor. And that's the story. So, you guys still awake? Hey, Chris, we're looking at you.
Yeah, I'm great. I'm great.
I think Rob's sleeping.
Oh no, Rob's still here.
Where's your camera, Rob?
Didn't get set up today.
All right, folks. We'll see you next week. We're going to be teaching you about the fortune in the follow-up and how to take what you just learned tonight and tie it into the prospect emailer and how all this comes together. And then we're going to move on to the next training after that. So I hope you all join us again. Hopefully next week we'll get some kinks worked out. I will work on the technical aspect of the EWS video. Worst case scenario, I'll just do it live again so we don't have to mess with that. So thank you again. Appreciate you very much. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good night. Thank
John,
you very
I'm
much.
looking for your question on multiple languages. I'll try to find it.
All right. And we'll go ahead and follow up with other questions we didn't get. Have a beautiful night, everybody. Thank you so much for sharing this time with us.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Good night.